see, as we were discussing, ventilation is basically the legal. I would say that legal is not a correct term, but I'm purposefully using this term legal, and this is illegal. So this is a legal entry, and this is the illegal entry of what? Don't in the exam don't use these terms, legal entry and illegal entry. So ventilation is a legal entry, just for understanding I'm saying, of outdoor air, and infiltration is the illegal entry of outdoor air. Okay, often in news you would listen to this term infiltrators. Okay, some Pakistanis have infiltrated our boundaries. Okay, uh, or they would say, for Pakistan TV is airing the news, they would say some Indians have infiltrated our boundaries, or Trump would say that some migrants have infiltrated their boundaries, like this. Okay, so infiltration is basically illegal entry, right? So we don't want in your air conditioning, we don't want the outside air to enter the room, okay, via cracks of the building, via cracks in the windows, cracks in the doors. So that is not expected. So we are ideally expecting that there should be no external entry via the cracks of the windows, via the cracks of the doors, or even by keeping the doors open, even by keeping the doors open. So when you are keeping the doors open, or when you are keeping the windows open, or if you are having the cracks in the windows, or if you are having the cracks in the doors, the outside air would enter the conditioned space, and that is called as infiltration. That we don't want. But irrespective of what we want or we don't want, we would find that some quantity would infiltrate, right, without our permission. Without our permission, some outside air is going to infiltrate, and when that is infiltrating, we need to calculate how much is infiltrating. Okay, so that is called as the load calculations via infiltration. Is this clear? What is infiltration? Infiltration load is the load of the outside air or fresh air which enters into the room via the cracks in the windows, cracks in the doors, or even if the doors are kept open unnecessarily. That is called as infiltration load. So when you are doing the load calculations for infiltration load, if you are doing the load calculations for infiltration load, then there are other many methods, but the simplest method is a crack method. Infiltration load calculations via the windows, via the windows. So what you do is that when you want to do the infiltration load calculations of windows, we need to measure. What we need to measure is the cracks in the windows. So we need to measure the cracks in the windows, and once I measure the cracks in the windows, I need to account for the amount of air which is infiltrating via the cracks. Now how do you do that? So if you look at the numerical which we were solving, you'll find that in this specific case, the value which has been taken, and this is a thumb value which you will find from the again the standard tables, that is your ASHRAE tables and ISHRAE tables. So if you are measuring, the cracks, and the cracks measurement obviously has to be the unit of length. So let us say it is some meters. You total that, how much is the crack length, and that crack if you have, so the length of the crack of the windows in meters into what? Into the infiltration rate, and that infiltration rate is, for example, this infiltration rate is let us say 2.5 meters square, 2.5 meters square per 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 unit time. Let us say per unit time, that is every hour, that infiltration is 2.5 meters square, okay, per unit hour, for every meter of the crack, So now it becomes very simple. You see, I have the measurement for the crack length, okay, and I have some typical value of the infiltration via the crack. Now, how is this value calculated? This value is calculated because by measuring the pressure difference across the pressure difference. You need to just measure the pressure difference. Okay. Let me just erase this. Okay. So the pressure difference, if you know the pressure difference across that crack or between the outside and the inside, okay, outside and the inside, and that pressure difference is going to be a function of the velocity, wind velocity. If the wind velocity is more, that pressure difference is more, and that pressure difference would give you the higher infiltration. So at higher wind velocities, this delta P would be more and the infiltration would be more. If the air is still, outside air is still, the infiltration would be less. This you can logically understand. So for example, if you look at the data book, you'll find that at 15 kilometers per hour wind velocity, 15 kilometers per hour wind velocity, okay, if I take the wind velocity as C, as 15 kmph, okay, then using some empirical relation, for example, this you can get 0.047 c square. Okay, so we'll get some pressure into c square. So if you substitute this, you'll get certain delta P, and if you look for that delta P value in the tables of infiltration, you'll get this value of 2.5 meters square. It means that if you know the delta P, and this delta P is calculated by knowing the wind velocity outside, you can estimate what is the infiltration rate per unit time, per unit length of the crack. And once you get this value, for example 2.5 meters square, then you multiply this with the length of the crack. So length of the crack into the standard infiltration rate, which is meter square per hour, okay, obtained from the tables per meter of the crack. So this is to be obtained from the ASHRAE tables or the ISHRAE tables, data book. Okay, you'll get the infiltration quantity. Now what to do with the infiltration quantity? You have the infiltration quantity. Let us say that infiltration quantity, I convert it into cmm, that is meter cube per minute, because it is volume now, no? Volume flow rate, meter cube per minute, cmm. Now how to calculate the load contributed by this infiltration quantity? So the infiltration here, which is entering this, it will contribute to both the types of load, the sensible load, and it will also contribute to the latent load. Sensible load as well as it will contribute to the latent load. Now there is a derivation, and I am not going to the derivation right now. Some other day I would derive this. You must remember that if I want to calculate the load because of sensible heating and the load because of latent heating, then the load can be calculated, the sensible load, because you know that the sensible load is basically the load by virtue of the temperature difference. So the sensible load can be calculated by this expression. What is that expression? It is 0.0204 cmm. Cmm is meter cube per minute, that is of infiltrated air, into delta T, because by delta T, this is by the virtue of the temperature difference. And what is this delta T? This is the outside design condition minus the outside design condition minus the inside design condition temperature, dBT, inside design temperature condition. So by knowing the delta T, outside temperature, design temperature, and inside design temperature, delta T, by calculating the infiltration CMM, this is the infiltration CMM, by the crack method, and by multiplying it with 0.204, you will get the sensible load in kilowatts. If you want it in watts, multiply this with 1000. If you want this in watts, you multiply this with 1000. This is how you calculate the infiltration load infiltration load contributing to the sensible load, right? Now, if I want to calculate the infiltration load contributing to the latent load, infiltration load calculating to the latent load, then that load, let me use some other color. If I want to calculate the infiltration load, okay, because which is basically changing the moisture level, then obviously we need to consider the delta omega. Delta omega means what? Omega outside, that is omega at the outside design conditions minus omega at the inside design conditions. So again, this expression we can derive, but I don't want to derive now. That would be 50 into CMM into delta omega. This would be in kilowatts. If you want to have the answer in watts, it has to be 50,000. Let us erase this. Okay. If I want the answer in watts, so 50,000 into CMM into delta omega watts. Okay, so this is how we calculate the load because of infiltration here. Is that clear? How do we calculate the load because of infiltration here? All of you? So infiltration here load. So how do you calculate the infiltration quantity? We calculate the infiltration quantity by the crack method. Infiltration here in CMM. We use the crack method. And once you get the infiltration quantity, then we calculate its contribution to the sensible load and the latent load. Okay, so this completes the calculation for the infiltration load. How to calculate the ventilation load now? Whether the ventilation is going to add to the load in the room. Yes, it is going to add to the load in the room. And how is it going to contribute to the load of the room? We had discussed that earlier too. How it is going to contribute to the ventilation? How is the ventilation load going to contribute? What is the difference between ventilation and infiltration? Ventilation and infiltration, what is the difference? Ventilation is the legal entry. So we are supplying, what we are doing is that we are supplying ventilation means we are supplying the air to maintain the freshness of the room. So that ventilation quantity is arrived at per person. So for example, in the given problem, you will find that there are 100 occupants. If there are 100 occupants and it is a office load, so office load generally we take it as 0.28 cmm, 0.28 cmm per person as a ventilation load. So the total ventilation would be 228 cmm. So once you get that 28 cmm, that 28 cmm has to be used for calculating the ventilation sensible load and ventilation latent load. Right? Now, how would that contribute to the room load? That would contribute to the load if that ventilation air escapes the conditioning apparatus, that is, if there is some bypass factor, which we had explained in the earlier video, right? So if there is a bypass factor, then the ventilation would contribute to the room load. If there is no bypass factor, then the ventilation is not going to contribute to the room load. Please note, this is very important. What is very important? Ventilation air will not contribute to the room load if the bypass factor is 0. If there is bypass factor, if there is some bypass factor, then that bypassed air is going to enter the room, and that is going to add to the load on the room. Nevertheless, and this is to be noted, ventilation air is going to contribute to the load on the equipment. So what does ventilation do? Ventilation would add to the load on the equipment add to the load on the equipment, and it is not going to add to the load on the. It is not going to add to the load on the room. Are you getting this?